Greetings, traders. How's everybody doing today on this beautiful Thursday? Just want to make sure I'm coming through okay. Trying to get this stream live in both rooms. First time for me doing that, so I'm just sort of testing things out before Andrew and I come on live tomorrow morning here in the US. If you can hear me okay, just let me know. Give me a little thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you feel is right for you. All right, looks like it's coming through okay. So first of all, a little disclaimer from me. I just got done having a kick butt workout, so I'm a little hot, a little sweaty. But one of the things that we try to teach over in the premium room is staying healthy. You know, your Forex business is up here, and if you don't keep the inside healthy, it's hard to be successful in trading. Look, you know, as a healthcare provider, I tell people at least a few times a week that sitting is the new smoking, right? I mean, if we sit all the time, it's not good for your health, but that's what this whole thing is, right? Forex trading, sitting, watching the markets, stressing out, making money, losing money, that type of thing. It takes a toll on your body. So you always got to keep your health first. And it's hard to do sometimes, but you got to focus on that. Yeah, we got it. All right, good. Basically what I'm coming in for today, besides wanting to test this stream, Andrew and I have been streaming live 2-3 times a day in the premium room each, and really been having fun over there. And we're slowly starting to grow that room up. And in the next weeks, coming weeks and months ahead, we're going to be putting out a lot of effort to grow the premium room. So the thing is we want to come into this public room where everything started, right? Where we got to know everybody. We want to be coming here a little bit more often, dropping some nuggets, sharing some information, taking some questions, and also learning from everybody. I mean, there's traders in this room that are more experienced than a lot of us. So it's all about sharing ideas, creating an environment of success, being positive, motivational. You don't be fake. I mean, I'm not saying I'm Mr. Happy, Joy guy from back in the old days. Remember that? The old Ren and Stimpy days back years ago. I don't know where that came from, by the way, but I like to have fun, try to make money trading, have a good time. Met some great people. I mean, some of the people that we've been talking to so far in these rooms have become good friends of mine. I mean, we talk on Skype every day. Andrew and I actually met through this business arrangement with Forex Signals, and we talk every day. I mean, we just got off a Skype, him and I, video chat over an hour. I mean, we can go off. So you'll see tomorrow morning U.S. time, whatever time that might be in your time zone, we're going to be having a good old time talking about trading and mindset and bias in the currency pairs, of course, and how you can make more money. Brian 1, here you go, buddy. I'll drain the premium room right now if you give me a shout out. There you go. All right, there it is. Real time. Nothing fake here. Obviously, you can see my charts. There's nothing fake about this. It's like when people lose weight and they're trying to show that they lost weight, they hold up the newspaper with the date and showing that they're really doing it in real time. Well, nothing like showing the charts. So, I mean, that's about as honest and straight up as you can get. So, thanks for taking some time to watch this. I'm going to have this recorded as well in the future. Basically, just want to touch base with you all, see if there's any questions and answers, questions that you might have and answers I might be able to share. And have a good old time for a little while with everybody. Let me go back over to the other room here. Yeah, I think they got me sort of locked out at the moment. So I have to either be in one room or the other, I think. So, you know, just what's cool about testing it out. So I can't see the premium chat right now, which is fine with me. I can come back, look at it later. You can see my charts. For those of you that don't know me from the premium room, well, obviously Andrew and I did that 10-day session where we each did a video on a certain topic, and I'm gonna ping that link over for you all. My hands are still a little shaky from working out, so I apologize if I don't send you the right thing. If you get a link in your chat on somewhere to buy a new car or something like that, just know that that's my jittery hands right now from just getting off the workout. So I'm gonna paste that over to you. Here we go. This is just a little library of some of the videos that we've done in the past, just the free videos about mindset, treating trading like a business, support and resistance, trading patterns, just sort of the basic overview type stuff. And that's out there for everybody. And we're putting together some really cool stuff right now. Obviously, I'm a little biased. You know, I'm a little biased. I think it's good stuff. But I just did a 20-some minute video on MACD. A lot of us trade with MACD at times, but not a lot of people really know the heart of it, the meat and potatoes, so to speak, of what MACD is all about. So that video is done, and we're just tweaking a couple things. Andrew did some really cool green screen stuff. I've been doing green screen, as you can see here. Mine's a little wrinkly, so I just ordered another one, and we'll get that fixed up so it looks a little nicer. But you can see my head sort of floating around and the videos and sort of spooky stuff like that. But I'm one of those guys. Like, I've been trading Forex, sitting at these charts for over 10 years, and I'm a doctor by trade. I still see patients on a part-time basis, have three or four college degrees now, and I just keep coming back to Forex. The thing that's really hard in this business is to find people, businesses, traders, websites that have been around more than 3, 4, 5, 6 years. And I got videos online going back into, I think, 07 or so, something like that. 08 maybe, when I started making some. So a lot of people are sort of flash in the pan. They show their Lamborghinis and take all these pictures of screenshots and back testing and promise the world, and then people sign up, buy their stuff, and then they're gone, or they sell something else under a different name. And you know, there's nothing that will bring you trust and transparency more than trading in a live room. I mean, you know, we all make mistakes. We all have to grow and learn. But there are some really, really good traders in these rooms. So I'm sort of blessed and sort of humbled to be working with them and to have mentor after my name to people who might know even a lot more than I do on a lot of topics. So Andrew is one of those guys. Him and I are the two mentors in the room, as well as some of the other traders that share tons of great information. It's not just about what we're preaching, it's about what everybody else is sharing as a group. And Andrew has taught me a lot of great things about trading already. I mean, his trend continuation strategy is excellent. His risk to reward is excellent. I mean, the guy's been trading, he's been trading his whole life. He used to be in the pits. You may have seen his videos years ago, but I think he's been trading just retail strictly for 10 years or more. And that's all he does. I mean, he pays his bills, takes his profits every single time, and that's how you want to be. So sometimes Forex trading isn't sexy, like my beautiful central United States outdoorsy shirt I have on right now. It's not that sexy, but it doesn't have to be sexy and fun. It's all about making the profits in the long term, right? So that's what it's all about, being consistent and taking your profits to the bank. We all make mistakes. I have losers. I have groups of losers together. I have days where I lose over and over and over again, but overall I'm ahead, and that's just how it is. So let's see. Just a couple quick questions. Thoughts on the pound dollar? Think it's done making new lows, or will it head back down? To be honest with you, I am more in favor of the pound strengthening versus the euro. And that's why I'm short euro pound. I currently have not been into the pound dollar precisely on my own for the last week or two. I've been trading the crosses a little more, so I can't give you an honest opinion on it, but we'll pull it up here briefly. Take a quick peek, 1 hour time frame. So if I'm talking through this, and again, you can see my charts, this is about as naked as the charts get. This is just bare bones price action right here. So I'm not gonna, analyze this for hours, but if I were just to drag a quick trend line in here, now I'm going really far back here. I'm going back to the end of October on the 4 hour. On the daily, you can see sort of where we're at. If I were looking at the pound, taking out all the fundamentals, taking out everything that I know and love about Forex trading, and just looking at the candlesticks, this is what I would do. First of all, you have to put your support and resistance in there. Gosh, my hands are still so shaky from working out. I'm having trouble getting these lines exact. Look at that. I can't even put the line on there. So you got to stay fit. I'm in my 40s. I got my grayness here. 41, I guess. So not really deep into my 40s. But you can take that as a good thing or a bad thing. So looking at resistance levels, support levels, we got this rising trend line. We always want to look at the longer term stuff. I mean, if we zoom out and look at the monthly, the downtrend is obviously huge and momentous after Brexit and a lot of other things. We have this huge downward momentum, possibly a little bit of reversal. What's interesting about the pound dollar, if you look at the daily here, I know I'm sort of, the candlesticks are a little bit small, but if you look at this little wick here to the top, we have an area of resistance at about 127.73, give or take a few pips. And if you look left, I can get my shaky hand in here. About 10 pips above that line was the next area of resistance, and we're going all the way back to July. So if you look at just this and you know nothing else, we could potentially see the pound dollar come down a little bit because we bounced off and now we're going back up to this trend line. So we're sort of trapped in this area. Huge area though, by the way. I mean, that's 250 pips there on the 4-hour time frame. So the question is, what do we do right now? In my humble opinion, you can't really be a strong seller of the pound dollar because of the upward trend on the 4-hour time frame. Depends on where you want to look at it. So right now on the pound dollar, and one of the key reasons that I'm not trading it personally on the 1-hour, 4-hour daily is that we're in this tricky area right now. I mean, we have a lot of reasons to be selling it, and we have a pretty strong little group of reasons to be buying it. So I'm sort of mixed. And you can see we came down to this black line, and then we bounced up, of course, and now we're right in this area of consolidation to the left where these wicks are. So, I mean, I can see the pair possibly going up 40, 50 pips, coming back down, maybe hitting this trend line. If you want to get long on the pound dollar, because the last few days, the last week or so, I've been talking about the pound possibly becoming a stronger currency, not the pound dollar, but the pound itself, based on the softening of the Brexit. You know, this Brexit thing just ripped apart the Great British Pound, right? And now we see all these little pieces coming back together with the euro. Maybe they're able to get back into the economy and pay to get some other services back. And obviously there's more to it than that. But the point is, the Brexit's a little bit softer. So I've been selling the euro pound. I've been, you know, basically buying the pound against other currencies the last week and doing pretty well on it. A couple little stop outs, but overall much more profit than losses. So in my humble opinion on the pound dollar, my bias, at least in this midterm, would be to be buying. However, you might have a retracement down to this this trend line. So in real time, again, it's not sexy. I'm not saying buy here, sell here. I'm just telling you straight up, I'm looking to buy the pound dollar, but I'm not looking to buy it at this very point. I'm hoping that the trend line will come up, or at least we get back down to support and we put stops beneath this trend line. Again, I'm looking at longer term, sort of not long term holding like a carry trade or anything, but I'm not looking to scalp it is what I'm trying to say. I'm looking for more of a swing trade, intraday type of thing. So if we can see a little pullback in pound coming back down around 24.50, 25.30, I'd be looking to get long on the pound dollar with my stops below that level. We zoom in a little closer, everything gets sort of choppy and messy, and you can get the idea. And I haven't traded it for that reason. What I have been trading, though, is the euro pound. And for those of you, I know it's not everybody's seen my chart setups and know what's going on here because we've been doing most of the stuff in the premium room, and I apologize. Just sort of the arrangement we have. And just so you know, Andrew and I, even though we're doing the live streams and some of the mentoring in the premium room and things, we're not the owners of this Forex signal. So, you know, a lot of people are getting confused with that. We got some really good guys and gals that run the business, and there's several other arms of the business. And Andrew and I are basically educators in the premium room. And there's a lot of great streamers here in the public room as well. And I learned a lot from them. So my advice would be to get on as many streams as you can and ask questions and share input. Brian says, do you think Aussie yen will go down the next couple of days? Can you walk us through that? Mind Speculator says, what do you think of trading systems without stops? Well, this person asked and I asked him. Okay, so before I show you the other stuff, I want to take a quick look at pound yen just because it's pulled up here. This is the 4-hour time frame. You can always look up in the top right corner here, get a better idea of where I'm at with things. And pound yen, I'm sorry, euro pound, I am short in. And if I zoom into the 1 hour, you can see my short entry here was around 85.13, currently up around 80 some pips, and my stops are locked in profit. I was thinking about bringing my stops down a little closer, but I'm still going to hold on to that level because of the areas of resistance here, all these wicks to the left. We got this trend line here. So I'm just holding it where it's at right now. And we can talk about strategies and moving stops and take profits later. Just to answer a quick question, what do you think of trading systems without stops? Number one, look, if you want to talk to a guy who gambled in the Forex market, who lives a half mile from a 3,000 employee casino, you came to the right guy. I mean, I used to just blow out Forex accounts left and right when I was learning because I had no mentorship and no guidance at all. So I started buying these courses for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. I bought all these old DVD ROMs and things, and I was getting sick and tired of always getting whipped out of my stops. You know, we'd see a little blip up, I'd be out, then the thing would always go the direction I wanted it to go. I mean, how many of you have ever had that happen? I mean, it happens all the time, right? It happens all the time. However, as I became more consistent and traded year after year after year, tens of thousands of hours sitting here grinding things out, I learned that you just got to have stops in place. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't think you'll see a lot of other full-time or professional traders or hedge fund managers that trade without stops. If you do, that's fine. Some people trade totally differently than me, and they make more money than me hand over fist. So this is just my opinion. I always have a stop in. I will move it further away than I like sometimes if I think the market might sort of have this organic movement for a while, you know, that sort of inhale, exhale of price action. But I always use my stops. You can call them a quote unquote, I hate the air quotes, by the way, but the quote unquote catastrophic stops. You know, say you're risking 0.5%, 1%, whatever you decide to risk. Maybe your stop's at 3% or something. At least you're not going to blow out your account on some big news event, or if your computer and internet goes down in some tornado or something, you're not losing everything. So always put a stop in. That's my opinion. And you asked, that's my answer. Might not be the answer that everybody likes to hear, but that's my answer. I always use a stop. And then what I do is I move the stop to lock in profit. I try to be a little bit, gosh, there's so many things I can tell you. I'm a little bit more conservative with that because I like to let the market move. You can see the dollar CAD trade that I have here short. I piled in a couple orders on this not too long ago. But my stops are still up real high. And now that we put in these lower lows and lower highs, I'm actually going to move some of these down here. Let me just do that right here with you in real time. Good. Good. So those stops are moved down on the dollar CAD, locking in a little bit more. And actually, these stops are still in negative. So this is just saving me some money if it does shoot back up, not locking in profit there. Where I did lock in some profit is with the Euro Aussie, Euro Pound. The trade that I am in right now, and I like to be totally, I mean, you're looking at my charts here, everybody. I mean, there's nothing I can hide here with you. But the trade that is not going perfectly for me is silver. And here's the reason why. I covered this in the premium room. And actually, Nick, one of the co-founders of Forex Signals and Think Huge and the other websites that they have, he chimed in a couple nights ago, and we were talking back and forth in the premium room, and we were talking about silver. And I love trading silver. Some of you don't like it. It doesn't move a lot. Sometimes the spreads are bigger. But on silver, right where these green arrows were, I actually put these on before the chart moved up. And in my other trading account, I got long right on these black lines, but I wasn't able to get into this darn thing. So I put buy limits in, and it never came down. So I decided to buy some up here, and now it's retracing. So my stop is down here on silver around 1670. And I'm hoping that we get a little bit of a movement down, and then we continue back up. So this is my trade that's pulling me down a little bit. And I got, 6 lots on this darn thing. So it's down a few grand. But overall, I'm still up a couple grand on the day here. So silver is the one that I'm thinking will go up the most. Now, the move with the euro and the dollar strength obviously didn't help me today. This is the dollar index on the 1 hour time frame. That doesn't help, of course, silver, the dollar getting stronger. But we'll see how it goes. That's part of trading. If I win or lose or get stopped out, it doesn't affect my overall plan. And, my emotions are out of it now, which is one of the things that we teach is you just can't be emotionally connected to these things. If you're staying up at night, looking at your phone, looking at your iPad, you got your iPhone or whatever Droid next to your bed, and every 10 minutes you're dozing off and you're checking your trade because you're freaking out about getting rich or losing everything. That's not the way to be successful long term. I've been there. Look, I'm not into drinking or drugs or anything. I don't have any kind of legal lawsuits on me with drugs or drinking. Never had drunk driving. I don't drink hardly ever. Never smoked cigarettes, did drugs or anything. But I have been on the bad side with Forex before. And that's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about teaching is I know what it's like to sit up all frickin' night long watching these trades because I got 10 lots running on a, few $1,000 account. So I've been down that road. Not for a long time, but I learned the hard way. I mean, I paid my tuition. My tuition here has been more expensive than the tuition to be a doctor. So let me tell you about that. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, I'm just looking at the chat here. Sorry about that. I'm still, the premium room, I don't know how many people we have in there exactly, but it's smaller than this public room. So I'm not used to watching the chat quite as much. Hi, everybody. Aussie yen. That's one we wanted to look at. You know what? I'm going to pass on the Aussie yen. I can pull it up for you, but I'd never trade the Aussie yen. Even the CAD yen. If you take a look at the CAD yen here, in the premium room last week, I think we had plotted this out in the CAD yen. There was one trader that was really into it. So we put a buy zone in here. We used Fibonacci's and we got really close to our buy zone. We would have been up, 300, 400 pips by now. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? But we never got to the entry. And part of the lesson here was if you don't get the ideal entry, don't take the trade. If the trade goes your way, but you didn't get your entry, don't think about it like, oh, I should have got in. I would have had this. Next time I should. No, you just got to stick to your guns. That's how you make money trading. This trade, we could have got in 10 other times since then, but I never traded the CAD yen once in my whole career, ever. Never placed a trade on it, but I pulled it up just to talk through, sort of like what you were asking with the Aussie yen. Can you take a look at the Aussie yen? And obviously I can, but I've never traded it, so I really don't have any feel. For those of you that have watched some of my my presentations or talks about my favorite pairs, I mean, you sort of see them here. I like the euro dollar, pound dollar I'm mixed on, Aussie dollar I like, euro Aussie is my favorite, euro pound I love, I really like dollar yen, I like oil, not trading oil, but watching oil as far as a dollar Canadian goes, and I like to trade silver, even a little bit more than gold at times. Also like the euro yen, had a nice short trade on the euro yen here. I haven't really looked at this yet, I just drug it over. This on the 15-minute time frame. So I sold it here and got out 50 some pips. I don't even know what size I had on this thing. 3 lots. Okay. So you get the idea. Could have been more. I was brutally honest with all of you. And that's I feel like, I'm not an old man. Some of you are way older than me. Some are younger than me. Some have more money, less. But I feel like the way that I do the best trading and talking with people and sharing what I know on my side of things, it's just to be brutally honest. I haven't even looked at this. I drug my trade onto the chart after I closed off some trades and I didn't look to see exactly what. I mean, that's the way I like to do things. I mean, less stress, following the rules, sort of automated. I don't second guess myself anymore, that kind of thing. Do I wish I did a different trade a lot of times? Sure. But I don't change my plan because my plan over the time has been working. So I don't change my plan. So many things to tell you. Pound Aussie. Pound Aussie is another pair. And I really apologize to you guys because I've went over all this stuff in the premium room so many times. Pound Aussie is, I think, an awesome pair to trade. I have not traded it because in the US here, I have moved from broker to broker to broker offshore. I used to trade with FX Pro, Hot Forex. I used to be an IB. I used to manage hundreds of thousands of dollars through Hot Forex. And I traded with XNES. I've traded with Tatawool, Pax Forex, FX Choice. I mean, what I do is I sort of move around to the broker that gives me the best deal, the best spreads, the lowest cost. And then eventually I either move to something better or the US comes in and says, you can't take US clients. We're from the US. And then I got to move somewhere else. I'm thinking that things might change in the near future if Trump, oh my gosh, that's terrible. If Trump, let's see some comments on that one, right? If Trump comes in and repeals or edits the Dodd-Frank Act, we could see some more favorable trading conditions here in the United States. But for now, the pound Aussie has always had a larger spread and more commission than the euro Aussie. So over the years, I've gotten really comfortable with the euro Aussie, and I have not traded the pound Aussie very much. So I'm going to pull up the euro Aussie here, and I'll show you where we're at here. Let's take a look. Sorry if I'm still sort of shaky with my mouse. I'm still coming off the workout rush a little bit. But this is the 1 hour on the euro Aussie. Now, obviously, there's a news event. We saw these wicks coming up and, everything else with Draghi speaking on and on and on about quantitative easing and how it might go on forever and all that kind of stuff. So the euro is not having a good day, as we know. But I have a Fibonacci retracement from December 5th till now. And you can see we poked right up to the top, just like the euro dollar poked up almost exactly to the resistance level on the longer term charts. I think it was daily, 4 hour daily, I believe. And we came all the way down. I had this sort of twisted up head and shoulders, basically just a trend line here. And I got short just before that trend line. And we were hoping to get down through the 50% fib level, and we did. And we broke the 61.8 after a while. And now we're bouncing at the 78.6 fib level. So some of you aren't in the fib levels. I understand. I don't think they're the holy grail, but they are something that I use in my trading. I do use stochastics and MACD as well, especially when I'm trading divergence. But just looking at this clean, taking out all the fuzz, taking out all the indicators, oscillators, the news events, all the stuff. You just look at this right now. what would you do right now on the Euro Aussie, right? What do you do right here? So because I'm already short and I have a couple orders short, and I'm looking up to my stops, I got about 90 pips, give or take some, to my stops. I'm going to go ahead and pull those down and lock in some more profits. I do have my larger order earlier, and I put a little bit smaller order in a little later. So currently, I have one order that's up about 28 pips, and I have my larger order that's up about 130 pips. And just sort of seeing what shakes down, see what's going on in the news, watching my news feed, see what's happening, getting a little workout in, talking to you guys. I mean, that's the life of a trader, right? It's the nice thing. Not a lot of pressure, just doing my thing. And if we look at the daily, you can see that we are in this strong area of support coming up on the bottom. Now, what I've been talking about in the premium room, I'm going to get all this stuff off my chart here. Let's get rid of everything. If you look at the weekly, we have this sort of spinning top, almost like a doji going on. The monthly, we're still on a red candle going down. Weekly, we're red, but not by a lot. The daily, we got this impulsive candle downwards. But you can see on this chart, we have some really strong areas of support coming in, especially when we get down in this area and we get down all the way down to here. And then we have a little bit more support just to make it nice, warm, and fuzzy somewhere in this area. And we're looking at 30 pips, 50 pips, down 150 pips from now. So is the trend on the Euro Aussie down, yes or no? Absolutely. On the 4 hour, we're sort of chopping through this big long channel, about 300 pips, give or take some. I'm not trying to be a perfectionist here at the moment. And what do we do now? So I'm definitely biased down on the Euro Aussie. I think the Aussie is a stronger currency, at least right now, than the Euro is. The Euro obviously took a beating today with Draghi. So my bias on the Euro Aussie is down. Now, if you zoom in on the 5-minute chart, you can see this after the news, what happened. You know, short-term time frames, if you're a scalper, short-term trader, that's great. We could talk about divergence and pull up some other indicators, oscillators here. We could try to scalp out some shorter-term areas of divergence. Get down on the 1-minute chart if you wanted. You can see it's all sort of stretched out here. But the point is, there's a lot of ways to trade. And you have to decide if you want to take a half hour a day and scalp, or if you want to take 10 minutes a day, a half hour a day, and set up some swing trades. It's all up to you. What you'll find in the premium room is a mix of all that stuff. Andrew does longer term, sort of shorter term trades, but on a longer term bias. So he's always trying to get in on the trend, buying on the dips, selling on the pullbacks. Very good strategy that's worked for him for a long, long time. I have a mix. I have probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 different strategies I use all together. So I'm a little harder to contain, I guess. I do like divergence trading with MACD and stochastics. I also really love my patterns. I love my head and shoulders, my wedges, my trend lines, because I think that so many traders, including the big institutional traders, use them. And the more obvious these levels are to everybody, the more likely they are to hold, because we have this sort of self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So I do use Fibonacci quite a bit. I use Fibonacci projections on my divergence trading, but I also have a decent emphasis on fundamentals. I don't, trade news events, although I had a great time doing that for years. There's nothing better than having a $500 account and turning it into 10 grand in a week, right? Just maxing that thing out with all this leverage. But that's not the way to make money long term. I mean, if you want to gamble, I'd rather go to the casino with some of my friends than sit here and do something that none of them even know exists. I mean, so many people in my life don't even know what Forex is still. So I think times are changing. My dollar CAD trade is a good example of fundamentals. We had the OPEC announcement last week that all the OPEC nations decided to decrease the production of oil. The OPEC nations and countries basically make up around 40, maybe 42% of all the oil production in the world. So therefore, we use that information to predict that the price of crude could rise higher. And if the price of crude went up higher, we assume that the Canadian dollar would get stronger because it's very tightly linked to the price of crude. So my bias was to try to sell the dollar CAD or buy a pair that is the CAD in the first part of the correlation, like the CAD yen, for example. So based on my dollar index and this pullback that we had before the Euro news came out, I'm thinking, okay, dollar's getting just a little bit weaker on the hourly. We're in a huge upward trend still on the daily and the 4 hour, but there's a pullback on the hourly before this Euro news came in, by the way. And I'm thinking, all right, dollar CAD short's looking good. I had some great trades selling dollar CAD earlier. I don't think they're still up on my chart yet. But I had a nice, I think it was 120 pip short trade. Yeah, it was right in this area down to the black. Or no, it was up here down to the black. Anyway, we had a nice trade in the premium room a couple of times, just selling and selling as it came back up. Same with the euro pound. And, you know, that's sort of my bias is I keep looking at the fundamentals. I don't sit and study news events. You know, I'd rather trade the world markets of Forex than some stock where some CEO or some board members can fudge the books and, you know, like the whole Enron scandal years ago. I feel more comfortable with the world markets because I know that these, you know, the people, the central banks, they can say things that aren't right and fudge data and stuff, but it takes a lot more to move a currency pair a huge amount than it does for some stock to double, you know, on some new science or some central key person in the board of directors lets out some insider trading information. You know, I don't like to deal with all that, you know, person to person stuff. I'd rather work with the markets of the world, and my background with education and healthcare, I like to piece everything together. It's almost like a puzzle. So I not only have fun trading, I know it might be twisted. You know, I do like riding dirt bikes and going out in the woods. I mean, I like to be active and live my life and do things with my friends and things. But when I'm trading, I have fun with it. You know, it's not just about trying to make $100 today or 20 grand today. It's about trying to put together things. And, you know, I talked with this person, I read this in the chat. You know, I think this is going to happen all the years. And I've been watching, I've seen this. So I'm going to take my order sell on dollar CAD. And then it's nice to know, hey, you know, everything lined up pretty right. I'm making a good trade. And I just have fun with it like that. If you see it for what it is, and you truly have a passion for the markets day in and day out, whether you're trading with the demo or $100 or $1 million, it's all the same, you know. So if you can find that in yourself and you focus on that and take your emotions out if you lose, out if you win, keep your health up, not sit here and become an old sort of stick type of a guy or gal that just grinds out the markets day after day. You got to be well-rounded. So it takes time, you know. I'm sure I'll look back on some of these videos in a year and 2 years and 5 years and think, man, I didn't know what the hell I was doing back then, because you learn more and you get better and better. So my advice is to be safe. Always start out small. If you're losing for a while, because we all do. I mean, we all do. I've taken some losing trades in the premium room. I know Andrew has. We all have. And it's just part of business. It's like the cost of doing business, right? So if you lose, don't be afraid to cut back your trade size. Don't be afraid to take a break for a day or two. What you don't want to do is double down, triple down, quadruple down. Put everything on this one, make it all back. Because sometimes looking back at trying to gain your profits to catch up for what you lost is sort of daunting, right? It can sort of stress you out, and it can take a lot of your energy away. So the best thing to do is bit by bit, and you'll feel better that way. You'll have more confidence in yourself that way. Trade your plan and don't trade your emotions. I am going to take one more look here. Oh my gosh. Here we have about 30 new chat messages. I'm sorry. I see a lot of great questions and comments here in the chat. The one that sticks out to me the most is, where is it here? No way, I never lose. That's funny. So yeah, I know. People are out there. You can buy the course for $99, how to never lose a dollar trading Forex. You can get your Lamborghini, go on the beach, right? Trade anywhere that you want to, 24 hours a day during the week, right? You can trade in the morning, you can trade at night, you can move to Hawaii, have the best trade hours for the US. You know, the sunshine and rainbow stuff is cool. And sometimes we get really fortunate because some people who don't even know about Forex get sucked in that way, and then they become better traders. My story, if you didn't hear it already, because it's in the videos and the link I posted, is that one of my buddies was in a managed Forex account. And the guy was making money over and over and over and over and over again. And he just kept telling me, look, I made 10 grand, I made 20 grand, I made 60 grand. And eventually I had to put my money in. So I put 25 grand in, and in the first month and a half, it was, I think, 60% gone. And I thought, hey, you know, I can figure this out. I can do better than that. I mean, how hard can it be to do better than losing 60% of your account in a month? And I proceeded to lose a lot more than that. So my goal is to save you money, save you the headache, and take your time, learn from somebody who's been there. One of my favorite sayings and all the motivational stuff I listened to in my career has been, you know, you become who you hang around with most of the time. And in this business, at least where I'm living, I know London, UK, there's some cities in Australia, there's some in the US where there's a lot more trading going on. And where I am in central US, there's just not a lot of it here in my area. So what I do is I go online and I talk with the people that I want to be like. I talk with the people who've been there. I take what I can learn from the people who have lost their asses. Pardon my French here, but you get the idea. And distill it down into my own strategy and own techniques. And that's where I am today. I got a lot to learn, everybody. I am not some master who knows everything. If you tell me right now, what do you think on pound dollar? What did I say? Well, I'm sort of mixed. You know, sort of the way it is. So I'm sort of mixed, so I'm not trading it. It's all it has to go with. So there's enough currency pairs and enough stuff going on every single day that you can find your trade. You can find your ideal setup. If you only trade a cup and saucer pattern or a head and shoulders pattern, and you only like to trade on the 4-hour daily, there's going to be trades like that all the time that's set up if you look at the currency pairs. If you go a little more exotic, you got a little more risk and you got to know things, but know a little bit more about them. But on these pairs, there's so many opportunities to trade. For every 5 reasons to buy or sell a pair, there's 5 or 6 reasons to sell a pair. So you got to stick to your system. And over time, lose, win, you should come ahead. The strategy that Andrew uses, which I think is great, and I use it a lot as well, is just money management. I mean, if you're 1.5 to 1 every time or more, you can be wrong 50% of the time or more, even 60%, and still be profitable. Back when I managed, hundreds of thousands of dollars, I had a really good track record. And for those of you who are experienced, you'll respect this, I think, but I was winning 70 to 80% of the time, and I was doing great. However, a lot of the winners were small and the losers were bigger. So the percentage really doesn't matter. It's all about the bottom line. So that's what we try to teach. If you get a chance to join us in the premium room, go ahead and do that. Andrew and I are going to be on at 7:45 Central Time in the U.S. So the time, if you look at live stream schedule here in the public room, you click on live stream schedule. All those times, as you probably know, are in your local time. So whatever time that is, we were sort of, you'll get a kick out of it, I think, because Andrew and I were on Skype for about an hour today trying to figure out, what we're doing here as far as teaching and the videos we're making and things. And then we thought we got to come up with some kind of an outline for our talk tomorrow. And we have some bullet points and things, but really the ad hoc stuff, just talking about trading, that's what we want to get at. We want to, answer some of the questions in the chat. The both of us will be watching the chat room a lot closer than I am right now because I see the chat room's just flipping here and I haven't been looking at it real closely. I see one. Ours is English. It's les cols in French. That's funny. Yeah, I thought I might get in trouble for that a little bit. But long story short, I hope you see us at 7:45 Central Time US, whatever time it might be. We'll be on here live talking about trading. Sort of like you go out with a couple guys, you go out, have a beer, go out and have dinner, whatever you want to call it. You just talk about the markets, what our bias is, what we think, what's going on in the next week, that kind of thing. So it's going to be a good time. If you have any questions, you can email me, jason@forexsignals.com, or you can private message me right here in the chat room. And I will be back in here tomorrow. I'll be coming around here and there. Don't take all my advice. I don't want to lose sleep over somebody taking a trade I post and they lose money on. I mean, just take the education for what it is. The premium room, as we'll say tomorrow, it's not intended to be a trade call center, although we do some of that from time to time. We just want to share the education and the big picture stuff because that's what is the hardest to learn. People don't like to talk about psychology. They don't like to talk about money management as much as what's going on in the Aussie right now, because that's where the money is right now. You got to focus on the big picture. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow and in the days and weeks ahead. Been a pleasure, and thank you all for your time. Have a great rest of the week and happy trading.